And welcome back to Bros in a Landfill, the only podcast that'll get you to spend $100 on a fucking shit. Why can't I fucking quip like Tar? Tar is a fucking delivery genius.
A delivery genius?
Like, when he says things, he says it funny. When I say things, I just stumble and fall at the last minute.
Well, I mean, watching someone stumble and fall is pretty funny.
I mean, true. If anybody listening is wondering what the joke was, I was going to say at the end of this episode, you'll be spending $100 on fighting games because we're going to make you spend 40 on Under Night and 60 on Mortal Kombat. Okay, anyways, that was the quip. My name's Trybien, and today we've got Tar.
We're snake oil salesmen, didn't you know?
Yeah. And we have Lunchbillion, our favorite New Zealander.
I mean...
The only New Zealander.
How many of them have you met? I mean, I'll take it, but... Sure, yeah. That's me. I'm the best one.
There's only one.
I'm the best we have to offer here.
So... This week, we're gonna do some follow-up discussion on Under Night and then go into talking about the aftermath. So you can expect Tar to have like really insightful conversation and then just go into OKs later in the episode.
Yep.
You can have and to the same extent, you're gonna have Lunch just sound really confused for like the first half of the episode, and then the back half he's gonna be like, "Oh yes, Mortal Kombat, like all these cool, awesome graphics."
What the fucking skulls,
you make me sound so shallow.
Fucking skulls being broken.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat is the shallowest fighting game, and I'm completely okay with that.
You know what? You can't just be like, we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat later and then talk mad shit about it and then have me wait for half an hour.
Hey, that was a compliment. I know, but what? Yeah, tune in for later for our Mortal Kombat thoughts. So a few weeks ago we
good, Chief.
Yeah, I'm good, Chief. So a few weeks ago, we talked about Under Night In-Birth. Tar bullied me into getting the game, and I was like, "This is fun."
And you talked about it a little bit, and now you've delved into the story, or what qualifies as a story for this game, because anime fighters are just kind of
Stay tuned for Tar kicks my butt in a Let's Play for like 3 episodes or so. That's coming out soon.
That sounds awesome.
By the time this episode gets out, it's either going to be the next Monday or the next Friday that the Under Night Let's Play will come out. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
Nice.
But, story. So at the point of the story I'm in, I've finished 3 characters. Now, Under Night In-Birth has its story split between the Chronicles mode and the arcade mode.
Okay.
Yes.
The arcade mode is what matters. The Chronicles mode explains why the arcade mode matters.
Yeah, Chronicles mode is the stuff that all happened in the past, and the arcade mode is what's happening now.
Got it. Okay.
Like the Chronicles mode is happening before night, and then the arcade mode is happening under night.
I hate you.
What?
I hate me too. You don't have to remind me. But so, first impressions. So the only I haven't really delved too much in the story. However, the first 2 chapters it unlocks for you is Exposition Dump Central. And holy shit, that was some chuny ass exposition dumps. like I'm not even mad. It's really fascinating. It's really funny. So, all of these like made up terms for this game are nuts, and it completely explains why the freaking title is as absurd as it is.
Okay, I'm gonna need an example. As an outsider.
So
Yuzuriha's story explained what the fuck voids are, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go on that one?
Yeah, tell me about voids.
There's this... Actually, I think this is the best way to explain. So in this world, there are these people called in-births who have these special powers called exists, EXS. And they get these exists by having their part of their...
I already hear Lunch's brain frying.
Part of their soul like eaten out of their body and filled in by like this special power and these things called the Knights, which are basically kind of like these nighttime things that happen during the day that these monsters called voids from another dimension.
I already have no idea what the fuck you're talking
about. So these monsters, monsters from another dimension.
No, start over. back to step one. There are people
okay,
called in-births because they have an ability, a property called
They just exist.
Called EXS.
Exist. Called exist because it's based on like it's named after like their existence.
Yes.
So
okay.
So these
most
people have
exist. All right, doesn't matter. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think Yuzuriha's story explains everyone radiates a paltry amount of EXS, but in-births have more of that because they were bitten by voids.
That sounds very validating. Okay.
And because they have more of that, they can manifest that into superpowers.
Okay. Wow, so some people are just kind of more important and are more real than others.
Yes, that is exactly
and exist more than I do. And so they get cool powers.
Well, especially because if you don't get the powers after being bitten, you just die because your existence is eaten up.
Okay.
So literally, you are special enough to not get killed by otherworldly beings trying to eat your existence.
So you become an in-birth if like a demon or something.
It's more like a living shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a living shadow. It's like a snake-like thing that can evolve into like a human-like form.
All right, and it comes after you during the day. And
during the night.
During the night.
I don't think I've seen any night events happen during the day.
Maybe I was just confused by Yuzuriha because it was like during the day, then suddenly there's like this night area.
I thought she went out at like sunset.
Maybe
so
it was sunset.
Been...
Well, the point of the matter is that the nights we're talking about isn't actually like nighttime. It's these areas of mass EXS that take on the properties of another dimension that these voids come from. So it's this area that takes place in our world that follows the rules of this other dimension. And we can't go
So
to
sometimes
that
if there's
dimension.
a lot of exists somewhere, it can kind of... It creates its own little pocket world of exists.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happens.
And which is why it's nighttime in that one stage. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if they try and eat your existence, but you live, then your existence gets mega amplified and you get superpowers.
So what happens is if your existence gets eaten, there's a hole left inside you. And since you're in the night, fills that hole is all the extra EXS that's in that area fills you up.
What?
Something else, so you get bitten, right? But something else has to take that space, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's the superpower EXS. And I don't remember exactly how this was explained, but using the superpower eats away at your if you use the superpower a lot, it eats away at your existence.
But using enough of it can also create a pocket night as well. So it kind of creates this dual dichotomy of if you use your power, you lose some of that existence. It goes out into the world, creates a night where other people can get, or voids can come in and other people can become in-births. And it's like a cycle.
It's a positive feedback loop.
And that's why fighting with other like in-births is really, really bad, and Yuzuriha doesn't want people to be fighting.
Yuzuriha wants so desperately to be important to the story, but she's just not.
Well, that's what happens when you're the pacifist character. I mean, what do you think? I'm not important to the story. I try to stop everybody from fighting. And then it makes things worse.
Yeah, if you were just a little bit more confrontational, you would be like the main character of this game.
I don't think you want me to be confrontational because I am either like 0 or 100.
Was that a threat? That was pretty confrontational.
I am trying so desperately to find that really comfortable Lunchbillion zone of like 20% like aggression.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how this world
Okay.
operates, and that was the entire point of Yuzuriha's story. Speaking of Yuzuriha's story, what do you think of Ogre so far, Try?
Okay, two things. I like him. They are totally setting him up to be either a DLC character or a character in the next game, because that's how these things always work. Like,
okay.
That's what happened with the BlazBlue stories, is you had like these really cool, powerful characters show up in the story, then they're DLC, or Up. You have to buy the next game if you want to play them, but we're still
Okay.
dangling them in front of your heads because we have to establish them as an existence in this world.
All right, I like this prediction.
But the point of the matter is, I want to play as Ogre now because his power sounds really fucking cool.
All right.
What is
Also-
his power?
It's like the
It's called-
Demon Gate or something?
Yeah, it's like a demon game. Like he has like super powerful stuff. Like he has like
I
super
don't
powerful
think I don't think they ever actually said what it was.
And they never show it either. But
Yeah, they never showed what
they
it
never
was.
showed because it's
but
very.
he's
It's.
super.
I was half expecting them to have like a CG for that. Like that would have been like really cool to just see like this like gate of like hell thing behind him. Or
I like how in the
whatever it's
context
supposed
of-
to be.
I like how in the context of fantasy, the word gate is like really epic, but in real life, it's a pretty mundane thing.
Well, of course, because in fantasy, all gates are teleporters.
Right,
Yeah, I
they're
mean
like-
it's true.
Crossing dimensions.
I mean, but think about this. If you think about property or you think about settings, a gate is literally a teleporter between two separate settings. It's just, it doesn't have any magical properties and you just walk through it and it's like they're right next to each other and you didn't really need to get in the first place.
Right.
But metaphorically, you just walk through a teleporter to another, like a entry or passageway into another zone.
Wow. I never appreciated fences and gates so much in
My
reality,
mind is
but
blown
now I
right
understand
now.
the symbolic
I didn't catch a single lick of
significance.
that.
That was beautiful. There is magic in the
So-
world still, Try.
It's at the Magic Kingdom, and Disney is like wasting a lot of money like every day because of the coronavirus.
Magic
thanks
exists
to
in
it.
this world, and Disney owns it!
It's so true. It's so true. Everything nice we have gets bought out by Disney.
Except Mortal Kombat.
Now I'm just waiting for Mickey Mouse to show up in like a Mortal Kombat friendship.
Now that'll be a good DLC fighter.
Yeah. Oh, you thought I was just nice and pretty and funny. But no,
Wait,
Mickey Mouse,
hold
I'm
up.
gonna fucking
Hold
snap
up.
your neck.
Yeah, I think
I'm
there's
gonna need you to rewind on that one, Chief. Mickey Mouse is pretty.
Look, we don't have time
What
for a
the fuck?
therapy session, okay? We've got to talk about Under Night. We could
So
get
that
to the
was
bottom
crazy.
of that one later.
It's Mickey Mouse that thinks that he's pretty. I mean,
Sure,
It's
sure.
not me.
Right. You were in character. Got it.
Right, his wife is
Yeah,
just
okay,
him,
yeah.
but with a bow. So I mean, that's their relationship. What? Wife, girlfriend?
Anyways, Under Night. So things are going well. Yuzuriha desperately wants to be important. I like her as a character, but she does. Like, I just wish that she had a bit more of a presence rather than like being so like non-confrontational.
I mean, she was pretty
But,
aggressive about her pacifism.
Yeah, it's like it's. You can totally say that like they're setting up an arc for her where she eventually like goes and like joins a league of some group of some kind because eventually it's like shit like
She
the
doesn't
world's
like
falling to fuck and it's all my
responsibility,
fault.
though.
What?
Yuzuriha doesn't like responsibility.
Well, so what's going to end up happening is her sister's going to get killed, and then she's going to be like, "Shit, fuck, this is all my fault," and like then she's going to go like on a warpath, killing every in-birth, and she's going to be the boss of the next game.
I don't really understand that.
Warpath
being-
Yuzuriha. That is not a concept I want to explore.
And then Ogre is going to be like the one that like beats the shit out of her and knocks sense into her, and she's going to be like, "Ogre, I love you, kiss me." It's like I was wrong about you all along.
Wow, that is why. That is not Yuzuriha's characterization thus far.
I know.
Why would Yuzu suddenly fall for the man who is creeping her out?
Yeah, but that's what I don't know if it was just me, but I got like some like serious some of that seriously weird sexual tension you get between characters who don't really like each other, but like they get along and then they have their character arcs and you're like, wow, I was wrong about you all the time. Let's hook up. Like it's like the Johnny and Cassie Cage sort of. I get Johnny Cassie Cage vibes from you. Johnny and Sonya Blade. I get that vibe from
Yeah,
Ogre and
it's important that
yeah.
you get those names correct. before you make some ungodly shit happen.
So that's one of the 3 characters you explored thus far. What about
Ori is
best girl Ori?
Yeah, Ori is definitely best girl. She's really cute. I like her in her dialogue. I wasn't entirely sold on her story, but I just don't think I'm entirely sold by the organization that she's a part of. Probably mostly because of Mika's fault. I blame Mika a lot for not caring much for Ori's organization.
Mika's a card.
Yeah.
We'll get to her when we get to her.
Yeah, we'll get to but yeah, Ori comes off as like your typical like your atypical Japanese nice girl anime character who
she's the heroine.
Yeah, she's definitely the heroine. You can definitely tell that like she's gonna be like the main love interest for Hyde.
Main love interest. Wait, well, I don't know. Like that guy's got like 5 girls after that dick.
Okay, that's fair. Granted, I haven't played Hyde's story yet. I don't know much about him, so I could be. But I get that like main heroine sort of vibe. It's like, oh yeah, this is the girl you're supposed to care about, and because she's the girl you're supposed to care about, the main character's gonna hook up with her. Could be wrong. Yep. I mean, the next game in the series could have them like all like murder each other in some Mortal Kombat.
No, I trust you. I trust like I reckon wherever you think the story's gonna go is where it's gonna go because you have watched a lot of anime.
Oh yes, and I am
know all
wrong.
there is to know.
Across the. My opinions are never wrong. And if anybody questions me, I just have to tell them no, I'm right, and then they're wrong.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that's definitely how that works. Yeah.
You're deeply familiar with like every lost trope to be scraped out of this barrel. Like I'm sure you know what's gonna happen.
Like I will fully admit that I'm being silly here, especially because I haven't played enough of the story and got get to know the rest of the characters. I do get strong Sonya, Blade, and Johnny Cage vibes from Yuzuriha and Ogre, but that could also be intentional, and who knows where that's going to take it. I just want to play as Ogre. I want to play as Ogre until the game till he comes out and he's awful to play as, until they have to like buff him like 5 times until he's worthwhile.
Okay.
That's video games.
Yeah. Or he's overpowered and I hate him because everybody plays as him.
You're worrying a lot about this character. Let's just trust the future.
I just want to play as Ogre. I mean, first off, his name's Ogre. Like any like character named Ogre in a fighting game is really cool to play as. I mean, you play Tekken. I mean, I played Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Ogre is definitely not one of the worst characters to play in that game. Like,
I just thought about Jin fighting this man with a ponytail and a fucking cowboy hat.
He is so over-designed, and like
he is.
Both he manages to get a mixture of that smarminess, but also like he's actually kind of cool as well. Where Johnny Cage is full smarmy, like this guy manages to balance it that smarminess and confidence, like in a not super not a super hateable way.
A picture of this man so Lunch knows who I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be useful. Please.
Yeah. While he's finding that, like I also did the 2 prologue sort of chapters, like it was prologue 1 and then.
Right, but Batista's story is fucking split up into like 18 different parts for no good reason.
Yeah, well, and especially because Batista's chapter 1 is like, oh, let's info dump this history of this in-birth from really long ago who gave powers to this village.
You're like the first in-birth or something.
Yeah, then Yuzuriha comes in with her story and is like, yeah, there is a town full of peeps with powers, and they all fucking murdered each other. These are my ancestors. This is why fighting's bad if you have an EXS. Just people with exists are gonna murder each other. That's just the way it's gonna be. Don't fight. Don't fight the natural course of people getting superpowers. Oh yeah, look at that hottie.
This guy buttons his shirt just wherever he fucking feels like.
I mean, that's anime.
I mean, he is supposed to be the playboy character, so.
I mean, he's a
I mean-
playboy, but like at least
Did you say
I
it was
respect that he's not a
overdesigned? I mean,
smarmy
he looks
playboy.
fairly. I mean, as far as this game goes, he looks like
Yeah,
a
I mean, that's
pretty-
fair.
almost like a normal person.
I mean, let's be real here. If there's one character that's overdesigned, it's Fatista.
Hey, I resemble that.
She looks good, but it's overdesigned.
His pants are like
Leave
not,
my
like, all
precious
the way
laser
done up.
daughter
Like,
alone.
That's pretty cool. I think with this guy, my only real issue with him is the hair. I think like the hair's too
I can
pretty
feel
boy
that.
for like the rest of his look. He
But I think that
seems like he should
no,
be
but
a bit
that's-
more rugged.
No, but that's kind of what it's going for. It's kind of like trying to play on that expectation of like he's both this kind of player pretty boy, but he's also like this lived experienced guy that actually is kind of really smart.
You can be a sexy fucking player, dude, without like having girls' hair.
Tell that to Final Fantasy characters.
I mean, I guess it's just one of those things where like beauty and masculinity like ideals are different across countries, but like it's weird how like the playboy character in Japanese stuff has to look like a girl or be like really like, I don't know, like
I mean, this is like
slender, and like this guy seems more like a Western kind of cool sexy guy, except he's got
know.
that hair.
I don't know. It's like he's got like a mixture of an Edgeworth and Sephiroth going on there.
I hate that you're right, and now I can't unsee it.
Great revival of the one-winged angel.
Give him some facial
Shut-
hair. Like, come on, you cowards.
I mean, I feel like the facial hair would be a bit much with the scar over one eye.
Yeah. I just can't
Scar
wait
is
to see
also
what
a
is
bit unnecessary, but you know,
like,
I mean, I'm gonna
just-
derail this whole conversation.
I just want to see his sherbet colored alternate. Like that's all I care about. Tar knows what I'm talking about.
You want to see this guy covered in
Yeah,
sherbet?
No, like there's so
I mean, I'm not judging.
in Under Night In-Birth, everybody has 10, like so everybody has 40 colors, but the last 10 are like all the same palette. They're all the same palettes,
Okay.
just splashed onto each character. Color number 35 is like bright pink and bright green and bright cyan and a little bit of red, and it's awful to look at, but I mean...
That sounds like vomit-inducing.
I mean, that's the main unlockable in the game is all the different colors. Like that's
No, that
Like,
that one's not even unlockable. That one you just get
Oh, yeah.
that one.
oh yeah, they give you the gaudiest one just to make you feel bad.
Just so you can, right out of the box, you can terrorize people online.
I just wish they had like the graphic novel like colored shader that Blaze Blue had, because that was my favorite color palette. Just these like really dark thick lines and like it, looking like the character came straight out of a graphic novel.
I'm not entirely.
Wait, does he have,
certain
like,
what
a-
you're talking about?
Does he have a scarf, or what's this hanging thing?
I don't know.
I didn't catch that.
Anyway, I think
This,
we did like
Yeah,
scarf
we meant to talk about Ori, and then we just deflected back onto Ogre.
we spent like the last like 5 minutes just talking about like Ogre's design and just how
Is he
he's cool
wearing
but
a
also like a
scarf?
playboy. I don't think he's. Oh, I mean, he's.
Is that-
I don't know. Is that a scarf?
Is that
or
part
like,
of his jacket? But it seems it's separate to his jacket. It's
is that-
coming
yeah, no,
off
he's
his
wearing a
jacket.
scarf.
Okay, that's
He's
stupid.
like a-
Get rid of like that. I mean, like have the hair or have the scarf. Why have you got both? It's a weird conflict. They're like almost the same color. And why is his name
why am I
Ogre? Like that's
I mean, that's like his nick. I don't think that's his real name. It's kind of like his nickname, I think.
Yeah, everybody
but,
just
like
uses
how
nicknames.
does his name represent what he looks like in the slightest? Or is it like playing with my expectations?
It's because he's an ogre in bed.
What? You just made me imagine Shrek naked. Let's move on.
Mika?
Oh fuck, Mika.
Not cool with that line
so-
of conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'll backtrack. Mika. What's there to say about Mika?
Mika's the comic relief character.
She's a comic relief character. She's a child. She's obnoxious, but she's also got a lot of energy, and she's not entirely hateable. Like,
Wow.
like I'm wondering why they. Okay, I know why they keep her around, but like the organization that she and Ori work for is supposed to be like graceful and dignified, and Mika is just the absolute epitome of chaotic dumbass.
It's my favorite alignment.
Mika makes me feel good about myself because I'm pretty much of a chaotic dumbass IRL. Like, jeez. But
Hey man, the dumbasses among us need someone to relate to as well.
Yeah, but I will give it this. I think they had a vision for what Mika's story is. I think they sold it. Mika's story sounds like it was written by a child, and given Mika's personality and given like how most of the backgrounds in her story are children's drawings rather than like the professional like CVs that they've been doing for the rest of the characters. Like, it feels like you're reading a children's storybook or you're hearing the tale recounted from a kid rather than events that actually happen.
Mika does have a penchant for dramatic storytelling.
Like, near the... there was a part near the end of her story where she's like, oh, I'm guessing this is all just a dream, and I'm just waiting for her to wake up, like, back on the plane. But no, it wasn't a dream. This actually happened. Like...
She fucking got stranded on an island for like a fucking week and a half.
She went out on she made her own raft heading towards Japan, nearly starved and dehydrated herself. Like
she saw fucking vultures over the ocean.
Yeah. And the only reason why she survived is because she was reported to by the Coast Guard. I was
sure
messaging Tar
trying to envision all of this.
Yeah. Like, I was messaging Tar during this, and I'm like, this is probably just some like cruel punishment by the organization. They're watching her. This is just like some like, oh, we're gonna teach you a lesson for breaking out of your cell because you've been misbehaving and you've been breaking shit out your like while you were in timeout. No, it was just an accident, and they just left her there. Like, they didn't even bother. And like, oh, and then like she made it to Japan and she's just like
so
cool.
Mean.
I mean,
like, no. The jump. Okay, Tar. In her story, what do you think the jump the shark moment was?
All of it, but
if you could narrow it down to one moment.
If I could narrow it down to one moment, probably everything that went on while Mika was inside the plane.
Yes. Absolutely fucking yes. So, Tar, lunch. Do you know how Mika ended up on the deserted island, like this, like in the middle of the ocean? Like, she's it's like obviously she was flying overhead. She snuck into a plane because she wanted to go to Japan to go help Ori and her friends. So somewhere between her getting on the plane and getting into Japan, she ended up on a deserted island. How did that happen? Just take a wild guess.
I was talking about I was talking about before this. Like, immediately after she entered the plane was when shit started going kind of haywire because originally they were going to Brazil, but apparently Mika screamed loud enough to redirect.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
What?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, so like
not literally, but the intercom said we're going to Brazil, and then Mika was like, "Wait, no, that's not supposed to happen." And then the intercom said, "Okay, fine, we're going to Japan." And
that's not how airplanes work.
But she was also apparently the only person on that plane, and So from the start of her being in the plane to the end of her being in the plane, I realized that the story gives absolutely no fucks, and they're just writing whatever comes ahead. So going back, so you said that she just walked off the plane. You're kind of right, But you're
Really?
so wrong. You are so
Oh.
wrong.
I
Tar, do you wanna
mean,
do the
that's
honors or do you want me to
technically the
explain
truth.
Technically, it's just
What? Stop playing with my brain. I'm
okay.
so confused.
So she's in the plane, like she's like falls asleep, eats some food, whatever. Then over the intercom, she is informed that the plane's going to be shot down.
It's
And
going
then
to
the
be
counter
what?
plays. Like the plane's going to be shot down for no explained reason at all.
By
the plane's
who?
going to be shut down. And
How do they
then-
know? What?
We don't know. We don't know. We really don't know. It's just
Attention, the plane is
apparently there's
going
no
to
one
be
else-
shot down. Okay, all right, I'll accept it. And what happens next?
And then while Mika's in the plane, the person over the intercom is counting down from 10 until the plane is shot down. So apparently there's someone up in the front of the plane just watching like a missile come in, counting down from 10, and then just ready for the plane to explode. And then Mika's like,
that doesn't make any. Okay.
and Mika escapes. She gets her parachute and she goes out. But apparently she's the only person to go off the plane. So it implies that like whoever was doing the intercom, assuming that there was a person there and it wasn't just automated. Like, Tar, help me, please.
That person could have done better than to do a countdown just for the.
Mika literally
Courtesy.
asks why they didn't. Mika asked literally why they didn't just dodge the missile.
Wait, did she?
Yeah, there was there was an offhand mark about like why don't they why did they just dodge it?
I don't.
Dodge,
like, it's-
bitch, get out of the way.
Like I would have accepted if like over the intercom, like if it said like, oh, this was a test plane that like was like being used at a test for like being shot down for whatever dumb anime reason. But we get zero explanation for why the plane is shot down. And I'm just like, I'm baffled. Like,
I mean,
it
even
made-
if they were.
At
They
that
weren't-
point,
they
I
were going
thought
to Brazil.
At that point, I thought, okay, this organization fucking knows Mika. They knew she would try to board this plane, and they came fucking prepared.
They had their like fucking stupid anime logic hats on before.
No, but
we
no,
even,
but
like,
no, but the
showed
thing
up.
that like so what gets me is like her supervisor, like the first executor. So the people in the organization who go out and fight the voids are called executors. Like the first executor, the strongest one, her supervisor, doesn't even hear about Mika getting into Japan until Mika's already in Japan. Like,
Wait, so she just jumps out of the plane with a parachute because it's gonna get shot down by somebody for some reason in 10 seconds.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
And she happens to land on
then-
this island.
Yes.
survives for a week.
Wow.
For about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
You know,
And
if
then
they
she
don't have a good
realized-
story idea for everybody, they should just not give a story mode to every character.
No. This is perfectly on brand for this character.
Yeah.
I guess I understand that's thematically relevant for a character such as this who lives in fucking Cloud Cuckoo Land, but like, what about the overall believability of the narrative? I'm just
I
meant
don't
to
think the
accept this
story
as
gives-
canon.
I don't think they
Yes.
give two fucks about making Mika believable.
But Mika
Mika's the-
exists in the same universe as everyone else.
But she's the joke
How am I meant to
character.
interpret her events? Is she real or not?
She is.
Is it-
All of this actually happened.
Then what the fuck? How do I
At this
take
point,
this cool, rugged ogre man seriously and his storyline and
It's
whether or
okay.
not-
They don't have any overlap. Those two characters don't have any overlap. It's okay. You don't have to think about that too
Yeah,
hard.
but I know in my
but-
head that in the background there's some stupid shit happening on a plane and on an island, you know? Like way dumber than just this guy's haircut.
I mean, I can't argue with
And
that.
scarf. His scarf is the
You're
same
right.
color as his hat, but then he has hair that's a slightly off version of the same color
Okay.
that also hangs, but at the back, and he's got.
Okay. bear with me. So here I am playing. I do use Ariha's story. The whole back half of her story is these philosophical musings if they should be fighting or not because of the feedback loop, and if maybe they should fight because there could be some bad people trying to, like, some bad mastermind using these powers for bad. So you have like this like philosophical debate between Yuzuriha and Ogre, and then I go into Mika's story, and it's utter nonsense. Like, fucking mood killed, which doesn't help because before that was the whole Ore story, which is pretty. I mean, it was
she
pretty
meets
standard.
up with a friend. Well, she meets up with a colleague. I wouldn't say friend.
Yeah, it's like a pretty standard fare like anime coffee scene, followed up by meeting the tsundere character. I don't know if she's actually tsundere, but she's
no, she's not the tsundere character. She just doesn't like you.
Yeah,
she's actually supposed to be kind of noble, but she's the bad noble.
Well, it seems like her deal is that, like, what's her name, Erica or something?
Erica Wagner is her full name.
Yeah. So her deal is that she comes off as like super self-conscious, so she puts up these really strong airs, and she's really easily embarrassed, so she deflects that on everybody else. Because of her own complexes, she tries to be better than everybody.
Well, I mean, she also does have a name to uphold, but you'll get to her when you get to her.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of her point. Like she feels so embarrassed because she doesn't feel like she lives up to her like this ideal that she's been beating into her head. Like
you'll get to Erica when you get to Erica.
And I think that covers it for the Undernight story.
That's the Undernight story so far.
Except I wanna end on one note. Tar.
Okay.
Would you do the honors of telling Lunch what Byakuya's chapter's chronicle story name is?
Oh dear. Do I have to?
I mean, you don't have to, but do you want to leave Lunch hanging?
A little bit. Okay. I told Try, this kid has problems. The name of Byakuya's Chronicle chapter is I Love My Sister.
Okay, well, so Mortal Kombat Aftermath.
Yeah, that's about how I expected that to go.
Yep.
Really? So that was it's time to move on to our second part of this episode.
Yeah, it's time for me to say okay a bunch.
After 40 minutes of nonsense, we finally get to hear Tar's legendary okay.
Okay.
Since Tar and I have talked for a bit, I'll let Lunch take the reins for the Aftermath trailer.
Sure. Okay. So, out of nowhere, a couple days ago, Mortal Kombat Aftermath trailer dropped, which is like a big expansion to Mortal Kombat 11, but it's story DLC. I can't think of another fighting game where they've added in like a second campaign for the story. It's pretty crazy, but
BB
NetherRealms is good with this kind of thing.
Nobody plays Tag Team Tar. Get your facts. I mean,
I don't play tag either, man.
Well, okay. Apparently it's happened once before. But it's still unusual. There's like one other time any of us can think of.
Well, especially for Mortal Kombat.
Well, Mortal Kombat or NetherRealm fighting games focus a lot on their single player stuff. A lot more than most other fighting games. And so I think it's cool that they're doing this. I don't want to like talk too much about the story because like learning the premise of this DLC immediately like spoils like a lot about the ending of the original campaign. So I'm not going to get too into it. It's not super important.
The thumbnail for the trailer spoils the end of Mortal Kombat 11. Let's just put that out there.
Sure. Avoid all media related to this thing we're about to talk about for 30
If you care about Mortal
minutes.
Kombat, that is.
If you care about Mortal Kombat. But I think it's cool because I really liked the original MK11 story mode. but I think most people can agree that the way it ends is a bit like, oh, okay, wow,
Well,
maybe this whole thing was a waste of time then. So I'm glad that they're actually. I thought that they were just leaving things open so that they could maybe just reboot it later on, and like years from now, you know. I didn't think that would be jumping back into it, and since we are, it's like it feels like they're doing something with that reset. So that's nice, and it looks like a pretty cool little story they're building up here. They're bringing in some older characters. It looks like there's a bit of intrigue and mystery, and apparently RoboCop shows up. So like,
Wait, what?
yeah,
RoboCop's the next is like a character that's tied into the. I don't know.
I
if
think he's
actually
part of
gonna be
the
in
story because like there's like some guy being like, oh, we need backup, and then RoboCop shows up. So like
that could just be his introduction though.
maybe, but I like to imagine he's in the story mode itself, but maybe not.
I don't know enough about RoboCop, but since we're dealing with like it's time shenanigans, like you have the whole Centurion, like being like this Time Lord shit.
I'm
like,
sure they could easily justify it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in Tekken 7, they just straight up put Akuma in the story mode. So like, who knows what they'll do here?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like they just made Akuma canon. They've like made him crucially important to like some of the main characters. It's like, what the fuck? Where did he come from? Doesn't matter.
See, Street Fighter Cross Tekken was a good thing. I've been telling you guys all along.
Yeah, all right, man. Keep your gems. Anyway, I think this is a cool DLC. And they're adding in some new characters. They're adding in freaking Fujin, who is apparently from some of the older 3D ones. Which I mean, I have no attachment to that character, and to me, he just looks like guy with sword. But my flatmate was super ecstatic to see him.
I tried playing.
cool.
I tried playing through Deception story mode, but then the game kept crashing on me because it was a used copy.
Damn it!
Rip.
And I was enjoying it too. I mean, it was nonsense, but I was enjoying it.
Yeah, well, I mean, welcome to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You just gotta.
So yeah,
accept
they're
that
putting in
Mortal Kombat's
Fujin.
just-
I mean, Mortal Kombat's schlock, and it loves that it's schlock.
Yeah.
But it manages
Well, it's
to
like-
also achieve some legitimately cool moments in its story when it feels like
yeah.
it. So it's like
well, I think Mortal Kombat really cares more about the moments than the overall story. I think, and I think
yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah,
I
it works for itself.
I like schlock where there's a little bit of actual emotional buy-in as well, but it's also schlock. Like, because I've been playing Gears of War 2, and it's certainly that, where it's like it's super cheesy all the time and ridiculous, but then sometimes like I'm surprised by how much I care about what's happened to a character.
I mean that's Yakuza. That's Yakuza for me. Yakuza, by all definitions, is a schlocky crime drama, but it's so well written. The characters are so like endearing that I'm like, am I playing a game where I'm like supposed to be like interacting with the Yakuza and like doing like shady, shifty like shit, or am I playing a game about characters that are like really cool and really I want to cry over?
Right. So I think Mortal Kombat has at least some of that energy where you know, we care about these characters and the story to an extent, but it's also like something that's reveling in its own kind of ridiculousness. So like having more Mortal Kombat campaigns just gonna be fun. Also Shiva looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who are not aware, Shiva is like a big freaking person with like 4 arms and like some horns maybe, I forget. But
Yeah.
like man, she was like her redesign. I'm so glad they're making her playable because like when I saw her redesign in the original MK11, I was so blown away because like Shiva is like the
lady
ugliest
version
fucking.
of that other guy with 4 arms.
She's like the lady
his name
version
is,
of
like,
Goro.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because like she's like she's usually just this super weird, unappealing, strangely sexualized fucking character. It's like in a fucking thong, but like is like this horrifying monster, and that's pretty weird. They made her look cool as hell in the new one. She's so cool looking. I'm like, I want to play as Shiva. How weird is that?
I mean, I quite like playing as Shiva in 9, but I also was like, shit, like her fatality where she rips your skin off actually like disgusts me. Like I can
Whoa,
feel that.
I never saw that one. Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is just that Shiva looks really fucking cool, and I think is one of the best
Oh, yes,
redesigns
it is.
of MK11, which was already a great game for redesigns.
Yeah. Oh, what's there to say about the Aftermath trailer except they fucking did it? Lunch, they did it. They added friendships. The only mechanic I actually care about because Jesus God, they're goofy as fuck. Like,
yeah, that's talking about that
like-
having fun with its own
like-
schlock, like that's awesome.
Like when we were watching the Aftermath trailer, like the moment like they're like, wait, what's Scorpion doing? Like he's standing there. He like shoots out his like fucking spear thing rope thingy and like get over like and he's like get over here and then it's a big ass fucking teddy bear and I was like I can't tell you how happy I
I
was.
thought you were gonna say you pulled him in for a big ass bear hug.
Like
Seriously.
yeah, like seeing Scorpion with his big fluffy teddy bear made me so happy. And then I saw a trailer. It had Kanos and fucking noob Cybots. First off, Kanos is of course like have you seen those ones?
I haven't seen anything
have
other
you
than just the regular trailer.
Okay, so I won't spoil them too much, but like Noob Cybots is as epically Deadpool-esque as you'd expect. Like after seeing Deadpool's, like I'm just so excited to see what everybody else's friendships are gonna end up at. Deadpool's in the game. Oh snap! Disney's bought Warner Brothers. No.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out
I
what
was
you were
gonna
saying.
say, like, when you think Deadpool, when you say Deadpool-esque, I am fully expecting you. I'm fully expecting this thing to involve beating someone over the head with the life bars.
No, but these are friendships. So like,
Oh.
I could totally see Noob Saibot doing that in like actual Mortal Kombat. But he's a little less fourth wall breaky than Deadpool, but he's still kind of like that Cloud Cuckoo Land goofy character who kind of like lives on a different plane of existence than everybody else.
Noob
He's an
Saibot?
edgy Deadpool. He Noob Saibot is edgy Deadpool.
I thought Deadpool was already edgy.
Okay, Noob Saibot in story and in character isn't that goofy, but it's what they do with him that's like,
okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I
Noob
don't
Saibot
know
can
what
be
you
like this
mean.
really-
I don't see what is.
Okay.
I mean, he's only silly in that he's like unaware of how like I am darkness he is, you know.
Yeah, no, but he is literally goth edgy Deadpool. Like I don't know. Let me I'm sending this over to you guys so you can see this. Viewer, if you want to see this as well, just look up Noob Saibot friendship.
Okay.
Do.
All right, let's give this.
Oh dear. I can't wait to not speak over this.
Yeah, no, fudge. I'm sorry, viewer. I don't normally make people watch stuff. This is your chance to pull it up.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
My internet is like garbage and barely handling this call, so unfortunately, I might be in. Jesus.
No, I'm BN.
God damn it. Okay, I see
press
the thumbnail.
F4.
I think the thumbnail might be enough.
Yeah. If you care to see it in action, I mean, like the thumbnail
this isn't happening.
speaks for itself. Yeah, the thumbnail speaks for itself.
I see what you mean by this is edgy Deadpool now.
Oh, we've loaded it. Nope.
Guys,
image
we've
is
hacked into
frozen. Okay.
Wonderful.
We've hacked
Just
into
fuck my life.
We've hacked into lunches.
I regret everything. Okay, let's move on to the next pertinent point, though. For as cool as this whole thing is, and as cool as that, like they're adding in more story, more characters, they're making it like a complete Mortal Kombat experience by adding in old features. This shit's fucking expensive. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
It's like another entire game. Like, I mean, I don't know how to price DLC really. I don't know how any of this works. I don't know like what counts as worth it.
So,
but like, it's
Okay,
like a couple of characters and like a story mode and stages. Yeah, I mean it's
Like,
substantial,
it could
but
be-
like it's like another whole game. I could buy The Witcher 3 twice or 3 times maybe.
Where I was going was so let's say you bought Mortal Kombat last year like on launch day, $60 price point. Let's say you bought the combat pack, that's $40. So you've already spent $100 on the base game plus I think 4 or 5 more characters, and then this expansion comes out and it's another $40. So if you bought Mortal Kombat 11 on launch day, you have put in $140 into this game. That's not including any other DLC you may have bought or any limited editions you would have gotten with it.
Or if you bought any of those like fucking like unlockable like
yeah.
I don't know. Does this game have loot boxes? I don't remember. It seems like it's
kind of got loop. It's got microtransactions like through the roof.
like if there's also microtransactions.
Wonderful.
Like this is like just the bummer about like fucking Warner Brothers. Like
No, okay, I am gonna stop you there. This is the bummer of the fighting game industry. Let's be real here. Like if you're looking at anime fighters, it's not that much better. Every few years you get a new game that has just a couple more characters, and then added story stuff. But the story is generally bullshit. The few more characters may have been added in as DLC before. Like what I can say about at least with the Mortal Kombat and even like Injustice is you're buying a completely new game with every single game, except they're just filled with microtransactions. Arc System Works fighting games are bullshit, straight up bullshit.
okay.
They're like it's like oh, we're gonna sell you a $60 or $40 game, and then we're gonna tag in like $15-$20 of DLC characters. But then, like 10 years later, a few years later, we're gonna sell a complete version of that game with all the characters in it. Also, we're gonna start selling a new game that just has all these characters in it with a few more characters. So you're essentially punished for buying the DLC, and that's really sad for the people who play competitively. It's like if you're playing competitively, you need the new characters immediately.
Like, it might only be because like
Hey, guess what? Night In-Birth is just $140 purchase in the DLC, and you get one optional DLC voice pack, so that's neat.
Yeah.
Good job, Under Night.
I'm just waiting for them to
holding it down.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe time will tell if you're
Granted, this is basically the same thing as Under Night latest, except with new balances and a new character. But everyone has new moves, so I mean, it's a new game.
Yeah, I'm a little less salty towards Under Night just because it's clearly more of an indie studio making it. Like, it's the same reason why I'm not super salty towards I forget whatever that one like indie fighting game was. Like, generally speaking, I'm less salty towards indie fighting games because they need to make that money. But big studios for big franchises, like it's like you have the money, make something substantially newer, other than just like more visual novel content.
Yeah, like I can at least say that at least Mortal Kombat's new DLC is like it's a campaign with like acting and fucking cutscenes and choreography. Like I mean, like whatever you think of the writing, the original campaign for this game was ridiculous in its production values and its fucking and its graphics and its backflips and cinematography. It was insane.
Well,
so like they're making like a real product. I just don't think it's worth that much. I think.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Yeah.
But the other thing with Mortal Kombat 2 is that they do put in a lot of free updates. Like there's a lot of stuff that you don't have to buy. The friendships and like to get all the stuff in Aftermath, like in the coming update. Like the friendships are going to be free. Like all like the added support to the characters that are already there are going to be added in. You pay the money for the new characters and for the story. They're not roadblocking or gating off any of the new content that relate to the stuff that's already in the game.
Yeah, that's good that not everything is that some of it is just for everybody. I think that's awesome. I don't have any problem with that.
We can wait to it until it comes out, and then like it's like a 30-minute story that has an unsatisfying conclusion, and we can bitch and moan as much as we want.
Sure.
Currently, I'm more frustrated that like the combat pack was $40 than I am about this Aftermath DLC. expansion because I could see an expansion being like $40. You're buying 5 characters for $40. That's like I don't know how many characters were in the combat pack. I don't remember. But if you're buying like if it's 5 characters, then you're essentially spending about $8-9 per character, and yes, there's a lot of like choreography and cinematography that goes with each character, and this probably is worth the price. But when you're putting that up against also a $60 title of all these other characters, it's like whether or not like it's actually worth the money, it's like it feels unreasonable because of base game being just $60. It's like you're paying.
Yeah, well, I mean, like how
many
characters per $10 are in the original game? Like probably a lot more. Like,
yeah,
it's like every character they add afterwards is like at a premium, and that's like
but
I don't know.
But this is also why I didn't buy the game last year, because you know what? For people who haven't bought Mortal Kombat 11 yet, you can buy everything right now for $60.
Yeah, if you just bought Aftermath now, like you'd be fucking sorted, right? Like,
yeah, like
that's insane.
They pulled this same shit with Mortal Kombat 9 Complete and Mortal Kombat 10 XL.
It's because of early adopters that you even get to make this shit in the first place, you fucks. And then
I know, but
get wrecked.
But
I mean, I guess you could call it like paying to have shit earlier, but like, geez, it's pretty expensive.
But no, I would actually have a far less of an issue if they didn't just have the bundles, or if they just like had like temporary sales. It's like, oh, like yes, like the game's been out for 2 years. We're gonna sell it at like 50%. Like that shit's fine, because if a game's not being super supported anymore, but you want to make more money off it, or you want to pick up the people who wouldn't have bought it initially, like okay, yeah, let's do that. But say like the people who wouldn't buy Mortal Kombat 11 for $60, how likely are they going to buy Mortal Kombat 11 with some extra stuff for $60? Like,
I don't know. I'm not a moneyman, so
yeah,
I'm not qualified.
You're not an economist.
At the same extent, I wouldn't have mind as much if like this was like 2 or 3 years later. But this is 1 year after Mortal Kombat 11 was released. We've got a more complete edition, and you know what? Next year they're probably gonna have another expansion and pull the same shit. Let's be like, if they've shown that they're planning on doing a live supporting of this game, they'll probably be putting out expansions even when Injustice comes out, like Injustice 3 comes out. Like,
yeah, I think it's just official that fighting games don't care about the sanctity of your original purchase, or like letting it keep its value. I guess it's like, well, you're paying that so you get to like have the game earlier than everyone else, and now you got to buy it again.
But to the same extent, like no matter like what we say about like Mortal Kombat, like how like cool, big or blockbuster it is, fighting games are still niche. Most people are gonna like most people who buy the game who aren't competitive are gonna buy it, play it for a week, play with some of their friends, and then maybe if their friends come over, they might pop it in. But they're not these people like going in doing like these long completion campaigns of stuff. Like that's not generally the audience, like the general audience for Mortal Kombat. You'll have the people who are completionists, you'll have the people who are competitive, but most people see cool action stuff and it's like, hey, I want to play this with my friends.
Yeah.
And the people who don't, and that's still even like the minority of people. Most people will be like, oh, I have that one friend that has Mortal Kombat 11. Let's go over to their house and play it. I've got like Call of Duty. I don't need to buy another game. People don't have money for all the games that are being released, especially when you have like these 100-hour campaigns and AAA experiences.
Right.
Experiences,
So that's why it's crazy
Quote
to
unquote.
spend $60 on a fucking DLC for Mortal Kombat 11. It's crazy.
It's okay. It's $40 for the expansion. It's $40 for the combat pack.
Oh
so
yeah,
all DLC combined.
Fucking New Zealand.
Okay, fair enough.
Mortal Kombat Aftermath. And my money. Oh, I forgot my internet's broken. Never mind.
And this
that's
has been
classic.
bros in a landfill.
Seriously,
Lunch's internet.
Because Mortal Kombat 11 base is like $100 or $110 here, and that's not just because of the exchange rate. Games are like our dollar's worth less, but then on top of that, it just is more expensive. Games just are more expensive here. So like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like $110 for that, and then it was, I think, for the expansion, it was like $60 or $70.
That's nuts. Yeah, I wish
brutal,
game companies
dude.
were a bit. Yeah, I wish game companies were a bit more considerate towards like other countries and other economies. But let's be real, that doesn't make them money. Like all they probably care about is the U.S. market and the Chinese market. Those are the only markets that matter because those have like the most people that will just go out and buy shit.
Yeah, I mean, New Zealand's like a couple million people.
Yeah,
Or nothing.
it's like. I mean, that's why like
and they all
movies,
look
like,
and sound exactly like me. So like, there's not that much diversity.
like
Wait, we didn't do that bit on cast lunch. It doesn't work.
no, I'm not gonna
Oh.
cut that out.
Oh, rip.
Yes.
Rip.
Rip me.
I might cut it out. I don't know. I might cut this
Oh,
out. I
well.
might cut the whole thing, and we've wasted all of our time talking about all. Like I'll just like send the
Talking
audio
about
and
fucking jumping sharks.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
just
cut
send the
everything and
audio
just-
of send the
It'll
Meek a
just be
bit.
like 5 minutes of how come she jumped out of a plane.
Oh no, we're just gonna send the ogre. It's just gonna cut out
Yeah,
everything but ogre.
we're just gonna talk about Ogre's design.
Yeah, that was the real episode.
Yeah,
What
there
happened
we
to
go.
his face?
That was never went over.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
so
was.
it's there because it makes him.
That's
kill him
just
because
left to your
everything has
imagination.
ever happened to him.
Maybe you fucking void clawed at it. Who knows? Maybe that's where he was bit. I doubt it, but I mean, it's a possibility.
I just can't wait for Merkava to be DLC in Mortal Kombat 12.
Gosh, he would fit.
He would.
Damn it, I
Just-
want
just-
this now.
Just imagine like him just slamming his arms on the ground and just like
I can't do a good Merkava screech.
yeah. Oh, quick thing, just because I since I bought Mortal Kombat 11 bundle, so I did the cool thing and I bought the game with all the stuff for $60. But I picked it up and I'm just like, why am I so bad at fighting games? Like Tar kicks my butt in Under Night.
Well, because I know
Sen- like-
combos, kind of, depending
Yeah,
on the
like-
character.
Well, Mortal Kombat and Under Night are like two entirely separate games. Like I'd classify Under Night as a very like as those like combo heavy, easy to mix up anime fighters where it's the moves are there, the combos aren't really pre-programmed, and you're able to kind of mess around and make shit up as you go. Like you can master like really long combos, but the really good combos aren't even necessarily going to be the ones in the thing. Where with Mortal Kombat, a lot of, especially the newer ones, a lot of the combos are like pre-designed and very like more cinematic. Like if you're like smart and you can time stuff well, like you can chain stuff together, but that's mainly just going to be certain characters who can stun lock and teleport. Like if you can't stun and you can't teleport, it's very much punch and go.
Yeah, well, like the combo game is less free form, I guess. Granted,
But-
I've seen, like, I went to a Mortal Kombat tournament once, and people were doing some insane shit that
Yeah.
I did not understand what was happening, and they just comboed me for like a whole game, and then burnt my face
Wow.
off on the stream setup. But
Nice.
but still, it's not like it's like, I think, stuff like Anime Fighters, they offer as much freedom and creativity as possible in making these combos, and make a deep system, which is pretty
Well,
different.
and I think where the difference lies is that anime fighters tend to have less frames, so it in some ways that gives you more to work with. Like there's more openings, there's more places for you to chain and cancel. Where like Mortal Kombat like 9, 10, 11 are also so very smooth and high frame rates, like a lot of frames, and like there's less room for error and there's less room for input.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
I might not be. I might be talking about my ass.
I
You're
think
fucking
I think
talking out
well,
your
like
ass.
I think, I mean, Mortal Kombat animates its characters at a higher frame rate than Under Night, but I think the games are both running at the same frame
I
rate.
think they're probably both 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess frame rate's not what. Frame rate might not be exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just being. I think. I think there's less frame, like same frames. I don't know. I've got an idea. I can't fucking explain it. But
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure. No, I mean, I'm sure there's something to this game feel thing you're trying to put your finger on.
I guess they might both be running at the same frames per second, but I think there's more frames per movement, not necessarily per second. So it takes more seconds for a movement in Mortal Kombat than it does in Under Night.
I don't know what that means.
That's more right.
But,
So one of these games has more startup on each of its attacks?
I'd say more startup and more like
more end
cooldown.
lag?
So yeah, so
okay.
Mortal Kombat feels like a slower game because there's more happening with each move, where Under Night feels like a faster game because moves are popping out really fast.
That's probably true.
You know who else is popping out fast? Me! This has been Bros in a Landfill!
No, don't jump out that plane!
10, 9, 8.
Oh, shit.
Shit.